What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we got a brand spanking new M109R. Yeah, you guys always like to see different stuff on the channel. Well, here you go, guys. This is about as different as it gets for us. This new brand new Suzuki just came into us. We've already done 2 other bikes for this same customer. He is a motorcycle holic. So anyways, it came in completely bone stock. We took it and put brand new Freedom Performance exhausts on it and got rid of the stock exhaust, and now we are about to do a ECU flash and tune on this thing. We also did a brand new Michelin Commander tire. He wanted something a little taller profile so the bike would corner a little better, even though it's not necessarily built for cornering. He just, you know, he has several, he's got his ZX14, he's got several toys. He just wanted something to handle a little better on this thing. So we already did a baseline run, and I wasn't really planning to do a YouTube video, but I'm like, this thing sucks. So I think we're gonna get huge gains out of our ECU flash. So as you know from watching my channel before, this is our air fuel gauge down here on the bottom. Right around in here is where we wanna be. This is our air fuel ratio with the M109. Is the richest it ever gets is at 14.5. But you can see here, this is where the ECU limitations have already kicked in. Not to mention it cuts it off at about 120 miles per hour. It hits a factory limiter, a shutoff, and stops this thing. Not only that, it cruises around in the 16s to 18s. The 18s is as lean as the dyno will read, and that's where it cruises at. Not to mention hits the rev limiter about 5,500 or 6,000 instead of 7,500 in 5th gear due to the top speed rev limiter. So we're gonna get rid of all that stuff today, guys. Stay with us. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you guys have an M109, you'll be able to check us out at moremafia.com and get yourself an ECU flash for your bike all through the mail. Check us out. All right, here we go, guys. So I've got the stock ECU file pulled up on this M109, and man, talk about some heavy restrictions here. So we go to secondary throttle plate opening percentage, gear 1, 100% all the way. So it's in 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, it's got power, but in 5th gear, nah, not quite. 100%, 36%, 20%. So at 6,800 RPM, Suzuki says, no, 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 that's it. So they shut you down completely, and then of course the ignition timing is super cut back, as well as the fueling just crazy far off for aftermarket exhaust system. If you have one of these bikes, this is gonna make a huge difference in just cruisability, performance, and it's way cheaper than buying a Power Commander. So let's get this thing fixed up and see what it sounds like once we flash it. All right guys, here we go. So I've already made a couple pulls without you. This thing is sounding and running a million times better. So we had a top speed of about 120 miles an hour. So far, we just went over 150 miles per hour in the pull before the last pull. So this thing is gaining huge power, but it's also riding so much smoother. Pull back up on the M109. I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but it might be the smoothest M109 I've ever ridden. Super smooth. The results out of this thing, the cruising around is spot on, and not to mention you got the smiles or the sounds that make you smile. That's always the good part about the fun part about an M109 is just the sound of that thing. When you crack the throttle, man, it hits so hard. So I want to pull up the final dyno sheets and show you what we ended up gaining. So this is when the bike got here, the blue line, and then the green line is of course the after. So not only did we gain huge power, you can actually see here where we had a big lean spike in the factory tune. In other words, the bike wasn't getting enough fuel after the aftermarket exhaust. We went from 61 horsepower to 74 horsepower. And then throughout the whole entire RPM range, we gained about 5 horsepower. And then in 5th gear, where Suzuki shuts these things off on earlier, we were able to get about 155 mile per hour top speed. So overall, we gained 6 horsepower peak, but we ended up with huge gains out here on the top end. But the main thing is much better and smoother driving and cruising conditions. All right, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That's free. Click the bell for further notifications so you know when we upload again. And as always, guys, smash that like button. We'll see you next time.